Hello. Hello. Today in this video, we are going for understanding of planning process of the website development. Okay. In the planning process of the website development, we need to understand how the website processes take care. Why I'm going for this Word document, because we will, for a better understanding of this, we will just go through the insight of the subject through communication with this Word file. Now, before launching any website, one should understand there is a many processes going in the background, and which is vital for ensuring that uh, the future roads should be smooth. And why it is so? Because in this day and age, in the modern era, there are many websites for the purposes. In those websites, there in those websites, people used to take care of their needs, entertainment needs, business needs, information gathering needs. But to just be a part, we need to do some research and analysis, some planning processes to because when we launch our website, then it got a cut and edged in the market. For that, we need to target our audience as well. Now, what is the backend phenomena of this website? We will understand in this planning process lecture. See, it is almost nowadays impossible for any business to do well without website, because having a website ensures the trust within a user, or you can say the client. And when the trust factor got away, then that trust factor pushes to do a business well without do a business well without having a website that works now, don't work well for the client and the company nowadays. So for the betterment of the environment, we need a website actually. For the betterment of the website, we need a website actually. Now, interestingly, you know we understand there is a lot to be done for the website development. We just need to focus for the coding, but actually it is not. No, for the website development, we have derived set of the processes from our last 30-year experience, because it is just web domain has exposed itself from the since 1990. Now, how those processes are, what are the steps, what are the concepts introduced in those processes, we need to understand here. Let's move ahead. Interestingly enough, there is a lot to be done before the coding of the website takes place. Lot to be done. There are many steps which need to be followed for it to properly develop. The purpose of the development of the planning is to make sure nothing is forgotten, because human mind is very fickle. We used to think about thing, and we get an idea, just we process those idea in process. We got in the process, with the environmental effect and biological constraints, we are not able to un- remember what really we are going for or thinking of it. Now, for this, to ensure those things, we need to we need a documentation of the facts, what is going in our mind. There are 7 steps that should be followed from start to finish when we are developing a website. So those 7 steps are first is research and goal settings, very important. Second is planning. Third is designing the layout. Fourth is the writing the content. Fifth is the coding. Sixth is the testing and launching. And the seventh is maintaining. Now, if you look on this, you understand this is a very smooth process. Very smooth process. First of all, for the goal setting, we need to research the market. We need to research the niche statement of our product. We need to research of the target audience. Then we are able to set our goal. In the planning, we will process about some wireframing of the website. We will know what is wireframing, and we will understand in future. Then in the third step we will design a layout. In a layout we will understand which images should be put on, according to the need of the target audience, which audio need to which audio budget need to be take care, or any gif or any videos. These are the functionality of the layout. Now next part is how we are going to write the content, very important. See, if you take an example of the famous website, one of the famous app, that is WhatsApp, and if you see that the website of that app, you will find nothing written out it. But now, but in the frequently asked question, there is a too much of the information. Just to so we need to understand where to put those or writings. Now, for and by going for the different understanding of each and every aspect of the product, then we will go for the coding. See, coding is a very important factor. Coding job is done and now, but is a very futuristic, because in the future is why we need to go for the futuristic aspect, because we have to understand that uh, coding gives a life to idea on the computing domain. So coding should be so futuristic that if somebody enhance that code, it should be not outdated, firstly. Secondly, it should be such that it can be mitigated with the various requirements of the websites in the coming future. Thirdly, it should have that much of compatibility from many marketing ads, search engine optimization type concepts can be improvised on those websites, and the overall the load time of the websites can't don't it can't we can compromise on that. So it's that's why it's all about the coding efficiency what you're going to put in that. And for testing those coding efficiency, we have our testing and launching thing. Then we will go for the maintenance. See, the last step involves updating and doing of the maintenance of the website often, and that was why I am saying that this website development is a very futuristic job. That's why whenever we have R&D team, we don't we analyze the market of the present, but we make product we make the product visualization for the future with the experience of the past. So in general, there is a with our intellectual capacity, we try to derive the market, what is the lifetime of that product through the website only. What is the that's why you came across that those famous websites what you was using, like Facebook, Amazon, Flipkart, you know uh, these are one of the famous websites. You can say that if you're in a research domain, you go for some Google AdWords and Google research documentations. So Google is also refining. Google search is also refining itself. Not is giving the option for the particular process. If you have a research domain, it says set of those keywords that you just use that, and only research pages will be there. If you go for some keywords like .ppt on the some topic, then on the specific topic you will get that PPTs only. These things evolved with time, and that's what I am saying. So this part is all of maintenance. Now take an example of Facebook as well. Facebook initially works on the server side scripting, that is known as the PHP, because we need to automate the server operation. Uh, we in initial 2005-6 responsive websites were the big gain and a big budge. In that they go with the PHP. Then in process of the time, they create their own language and compilation domain from which the Facebook is handling now the compilation domain, a new language, to just to manage its website. The ecosystem is fully governed by that company. That ecosystem of websites includes language, compilation, database interactions, you know uh, server maintenance, compile, computer networking, various networking domains in the server side applications we are using. Now this server side applications actually these server side applications are actually working on a very tough basis, very tough basis. So now for further we move to elaborate those steps. Let's move to elaborate those steps. the steps we need to understand deeply, from which we are able to make an effective website, that visitor will more likely to become a loyal customer. Now, planning a website takes a lot of time and effort. Lots of time and effort. It can also be cost money to launch a website. So, time and effort, we are improvising the cost money as well. The two important factors that need to be taken into the consideration in there, and this is time and money, because effort can be only improvised when we have a time, and then one most important thing also is there is money. The effort can the vagueness of effort can be take a strict guard with the help of these two parameters of the time and effort. Now, during the planning process, it's a good idea to make a timeline or have a goal. It's a good idea to have a timeline or have a goal. Why we need a timeline? Timeline gives a remarkable understanding of how the working dimension of the part. Now, how long you might need to spend at each step, that is also very much consideration, and it's take an experienced personnel to really understand this part. Now, the more time is taken during the first few steps of the planning, the less you will have to do in the long. Thank you. Less we have in the long run. Now let's move ahead, and we will understand each and every knobs and notches of the website development planning process. Let's move ahead. Now, first and foremost is the research and goal setting. Now, why it is needed? Very much why it is needed. See, there is opportunity for everyone in this world. Just we need to align our thought process with our goal and the strategic inclination to get our business within the domain of the you know web. So how to get a business? We need to get a business. Who will get, our customer will decide, who will be our the futuristic customer will decide which type of the business we need to go for. Now, here the most important part is by setting a goal or a timeline, you know, we are able to understand what really our customer who will our customer needs, or who will be our customer will. So from there we will have able to analyze the target audience. So for this, for any introspection process, we go through some questionnaire actually. So what those questionnaires will be, it always dependent upon the what a goal we have set for the website. Okay. Now, as with project as with project, it is important to do research and set goals by beginning. Very important. So for any project, the major point is, for any project we need to do a proper research, and for the proper research with the help for the proper research we need various input data, and with help of those input data we used to set goals, in the beginning of the website itself. Now, what will be the ultimate objective of setting a goal? The ultimate objective of setting a goal is to have a direction, in which way we will move and achieve our business. And in fact, a business specific goals we will get only when we have a goals in front of us, business objective in front of us. Then only we can able to align all our the resources, and with those alignment we are able to accomplish by firing all the cylinders of the resources, strategy, manpower, all to get our goal accomplished. So the major part is to get our goal accomplished, we need a very process domain of understanding of what really we are going for. So In general, planning and goal setting process takes 1 to 2 weeks to complete. In general, planning and goal setting process takes 1 to 2 weeks to complete. It is very important. It is very important. It is very important. First step to create a website that sells. Very important thing. Why we need to create a website? We need to create a website that able to sell itself. Because if website is not able to sell itself, my friend, our whole work will be going vain. Our whole work will go in vain. Now, so we are able to understand what is the importance of the website. Now let's move. Let's move. How we are going to get our research done? How we are going to get our research done? Our research is done with the help of the asking the several questions to ourselves whether our the business objective is feasible or not. What do I hope for my website? So, what are those questions will be? Those questions will be, what do I hope for my website to accomplish? You know, who is the audience I would like to target? Who is the audience I like to target? What are the main goals of the website? These things need to be take care. First of all, accomplish your objective and accomplishment should be in front of you, from which you are able to drive a timeline. So when you now what is the objective is all about? It's all about a hope that we shall overcome. You know, हम होंगे कामयाब. So हम होंगे कामयाब is a vague statement, and it can be only got a purpose when we are when we have some target audience to fulfill that. So how this how does to get the our target audience, because it is damn necessary. If we're not able to analyze our target audience, let me tell you the business panorama will give us the red sea. And when that red sea, we are drawn. We are able, we will, with the environmental pressure, we are going to drown ourselves. So before any purpose to be solved, we need to decide our goals, and that goals should be discussed with our team. So before defining any website, we should define our goals actually, and and that goal should be accomplished after the website is launched. Let's move ahead. Now, what will be the optimum result of setting a goal? What will be the optimal result of the setting a goal? By setting a goal for your website, you will be helping the site to have a clear directions and purpose. Very important. Vagueness is clearly defined, from which we are able to define a timeline. So clear direction and purpose is defined here. And this is the important step for the rest of the steps. Very important step for the rest of steps. It's very important step for the rest of the steps. When setting your goal, you should think about outlining what you would like to. Whenever we are setting your goals, we should be futuristic. We should understand we need to outline this goal in the various steps of accomplishments. This various step of accomplishments, we need to derive some step. Okay, and what will be the first step before defining that goal? And it should be that whatever goal we are deciding, and while our outlining that goal, one should go through the in this smooth way to achieve that goal. There should not be any haphazardness. There should not be a pressure to get the deadline. Before any objective is set, let's have a clear cut fundamental brainstorming session. In that clear cut fundamental brainstorming session, we need to understand the process of that objective. After defining the process, understanding its requirement, we are able, what effort is needed in which time period, then we will have our timeline. We can proceed for the Gantt chart. So from which this different processing, different processing and sub processes, we are able to define our goal in a very quantized manner. This quantized manner, we have a very much very techniques to show those quantized manners. So with the effort of that quantitative data and a qualitative hope, we were able to express ourselves beautifully on our website. Now, this is one of the few parts of our research. Let's move. Research part of the step has a few different purposes. Always, whenever you let's understand one more thing. Let's say research what movie you like. Let's anybody is researching what movie you like. Maybe somebody is very much interested in a comedy movie. Somebody is interested in a thriller. Somebody will be interested in a mix of the choices like thriller, comedy. Uh, Somebody is interested in adult movies as well. So interest of the crowd is very much different, and in finding those in those findings actually, our research got a greater end. Our research got a greater end, and this greater end is never defined actually. It whatever new points is coming, it will just push its limits. So to really get benefited of it, to really get beneficial of it, we should understand where we are moving, and it should be defined by analyzing the competitor in the market. So we have our one way where we have to progress. So now what we have to do, whether we have to follow the competitor, whether we want to different path all around to make the customer more valuable, the customer feel more valued to our website and they will come to us. So the best part of the research is to understand all the phenomena of the competitors we what the our competitors have. Now let's move. There are so many examples out there that it might be beneficial for you to look, how the competitors take care of those things. When Facebook was launched, the its next competitor was Orkut, but Orkut was not able to survive. Even it was bought by the Google at the moment of the time. Why it is not able to survive? In my understanding, what I came across that Orkut load time was very much than the Facebook. In the initial days in 2004 to 2003 days, in initial days of the Facebook, data processing was a in the third world countries like in those days like India, Brazil. Data data wasn't a big issue. First, second, speed of the data was also a very very much an issue out there as well, because speed of the data transformation from the network sites where from the network providers were not so good, and we are operating on the 2G as well, you know so to just the niche the market of understanding, we Facebook focused on the fact that the load time of my website will be very less on the mobile platform, on the tablet platform, on the personal computer platform. Okay, this helps them to overcome overcome their initial barriers very much, and they able to capture market in a very fast and rapid space. You know, so analysis and the competition is a very much. Let's move ahead. It is also important to do some research on the target audience. Very important. What are the taste of the audience is getting up. I remember during the Orkut days, we have an option that we can take a link of the YouTube and paste it on the Orkut. I was I was shocked to see that every Orkut account has a maximum links of YouTube when Google buy the. So this add this things now add to the load time of that website as well. One should understand how to counter these strategies with the technical expertise to when any third party connection is coming on the web page, how we are going to handle those things. Maybe at initial this checking was not taken care by the Orkut developer, but in the long run people used to collaborate many of the things on that page only. One more thing, initial in those days applet was one of the very buzzword there. So Orkut uses the applet to really consider to make the website glittery.
And the applet was applet itself was not a very light weighted program. It is itself is uh, very high and uh, very high in requirement program. So we need to upgrade our web law you we need to upgrade our web browsers as well. Um, that plugins needs to be played out there. So these are the different problems from where the orbit was not able to uh, cover the market. See, this thing is only coming after we research our part. So let's move ahead. One more thing we need to understand, that a different age group has a different requirement. Everybody should agree. In the when we are kids, our requirements are different. When we are toddler, our requirements are different. When we are in a teenage, our requirements are different. When we are young, requirements are different. When we are adult, requirements are different. When we are single, requirements are different. When we are married, requirements are different. Okay. When we are single, requirements are different. When we have a girlfriend, requirements are different. So where to target, where to target is the damn important thing. So that's the thing. Let's move ahead. So understanding what our user wants is a crucial phase of planning, and it's really help us to pace out the rest of our website. So it is important to research keywords. Now, what is keywords actually? Let's assume we are going for some e-commerce website, and our e-commerce website is only focused for the kid zone, kid requirements. So so what keywords is more important? The most important keyword for us is the kid. So how to place that kid, where to place that kid, and which wireframe you are following that kid word, how the SEO is going to get benefited by our placing of the kid within our website domain. That is the most important part. So one should also understand that in future we need to you do search engine optimization for our websites. So for this search engine optimization, for this search engine optimization, for this search engine optimization, we if our website is ready for that, we can save the lot of work. Okay. So this is what the research part is all about. We will focus in our next lecture. We will focus about the planning and planning part as well. This remaining six: planning, designing the layout, writing the content, coding, testing, launching, and maintenance. Thank you for your patience listening.